Hello and happy Tuesday. My name is Wendy Lee and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US and super excited that you're joining me today for some crafty fun. Yay, I'm a couple minutes late. I apologize for that. You know, it's one of those things. As soon as you start moving things in your setup and then you put them back, you don't always get everything complete like you think you did, right? Anyway, it's all good, right? We're still going to have some fun today. So a couple of announcements I want to make sure I tell you first so I don't forget is Stampin' Up! Announced today, yay, that we are going to have free shipping on all orders $70 or $75 or greater if you're in the US. You're going to get free shipping, which is awesome because shipping just increased, you know, just with the global economy and the way things are. Prices continue to rise. And so shipping just increased from 10% to 11%. So this is going to save us at least 11%. So that's awesome. So on Thursday is a great day to shop and get your favorites from the last chance list that is going on now. So that will end on May 2nd. So that is the 2020-2021 annual catalog products that are going away. So sad, but there's lots of good stuff still left. And of course, when you shop with me, if you hit that $75 threshold, you're gonna get 3 items from my awesome April stash. Yay! So many good things to choose from still. So granted, any order qualifies for awesome April if it's $25 or more. So you can do that now or you can wait, whatever makes you happy. But there's 2 more weeks in April to take advantage of that. Yes, so that's very, very cool. The other thing I wanted to make sure you know is that Thursday is our last day to register for our Makers Mojo event. So that is all day paper crafting. We have 11 presentations. There's over 35 different projects that you're going to get in your PDF tutorial and that we'll be going through that day. So it is going to be lots and lots of fun. We've got some really good things in store for you. So yay! I can't wait. The event is happening this Saturday. You don't want to miss it. And if you can't join us live, it's okay. You can go back and watch the recordings, but oh, it's going to be so much fun. Even if you can join us for 1 or 2 of the presentations, I say jump all in. Okay, new catalog, as I mentioned, the last chance list is going on now. So the new 2021-2022, do I have a copy? Handy? I have it buried, already buried. This guy, yay! This one starts on May 3rd. So I am working on shipping out catalogs. So if you've heard from me and I've asked you to confirm your address, then you've got one coming. If you have not heard from me or if you've not responded back confirming your address and you want a catalog, let me know. Let's talk about it. Let's get one in your hands. I've also posted my new catalog shares, so a ribbon and a paper share, as well as my in color club. So I'm going to do that again this year. So you can find those under classes and events tab on my website, which is creativeleeyours.com. Yes. All right. Let's move over and get a little paper crafty fun going on. Yes. Oh, and the class behind me, hopefully we'll post this weekend. Yay. All right, let's switch on over and let's get started. All right, so today I decided that we were going to focus on upcoming graduations. So I don't know if you have a graduation that you need a card for or not. However, this one is great and you can use it for any type of graduation. And this will be a good one. If you don't need it this year, it'll be a good one to have in your back pocket. So be sure to save this video so you can go back to it and watch it if you don't need it this year, that you can watch it and have it for next year. So, all right. Oh, good. I'm glad to see some of you guys are here. There's Tammy and Jean and Terry and Janet. So glad you guys are joining. Yeah, I'm really excited about Makers Mojo as well. It is a very good time. It is a full jam-packed day. And you guys, we have a special guest that I'm so excited about as well. So we already have 5 fabulous people, right? There's me, Melissa Kerman, Audra Monk, Joe Blackburn, and Anne-Marie Heil. So there's 5 of us that joined together for this event. And we have a 6th person coming in as a guest to do a presentation as well. So it will be so cool. I would show you a sneak peek of some of my stuff, but I don't think I'm allowed to do that, right? Can I? Nope, I'm not going to do it. I would love to, but if I had them at my fingertips, I might give in and show it, but I'm not going to. They're on the other side of the room. I'd have to dig them out. So nope, not going to do it today. All right. So we're going to focus on a graduation card. We're using the Best Year stamp set. Got a little red dot, which means this is sadly retiring. This is one of my favorite sentiment stamp sets. So if you don't have this one, you might consider getting it. It's got great fonts. There's things that you can put on the inside and outside. It's just so versatile and it makes me super sad it's going away. But so we created this little graduation cap, and how fun is this? So it's got a pop-up inside to it. Maybe I've got my camera zoomed in a little bit too much. Whoa, I went the wrong way. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see it. So then this opens up. So, and then you can slide a little gift card in here or money, whatever you want to do. You don't have to slide anything in, but I like it that way, right? So just fast and easy. This will fit in a regular standard envelope because it's a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 card. So fun. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this, and hopefully you guys enjoy this one. So let's start with our inside of our card, actually, because this is the fold part that's exciting. Now, you guys know the complete supply list of what I'm using today will be added to the video after, as well as the full cut dimensions. So you'll have links to just click on and place your order if you need to order anything. And then you'll have the supply list so you can recreate this on your own as well. So I am dealing with an 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 inch square of basic weight cardstock, and I'm going to score it in half. You don't have to score it. You could just fold it, but I'm going to score it at 4 1/8 because it just makes the folding a little bit easier. So I'm going to do this. Okay. Now I'm going to also score this on one of the diagonals. So this is why I have these lines, and I don't know if you can see them. Hopefully you can see them. So I have taken a Sharpie and actually drawn right on my Simply Scored. Can you believe it? I know. And I do it for this purpose. So if I want to do a diagonal, I can lay the points in one of my marked channels, and you can't see it because it's too big. But if I scooch it down, you still can't see it. But if I, on the other end of the point, you know, I can see where this channel is to know that I'm on the same line to be able to do this. Again, you can just fold this in half if you prefer, but I like to score it if I can because it just makes it a little easier. All right, so that's the hardest part of it right there. We're done with that. Okay, so let me go ahead and fold this. So we only did it in one of the diagonals. We didn't do both. So let's go ahead and fold this. I'm just going to line up my corners, my edges. They don't have to be perfect. Let that go if it bothers you, right? All right, and then let's fold it the other direction. We just want to fold along each of our score lines and get a nice, good crisp edge. Okay. So you guys have graduations coming up this year that you need a graduation card for? Anyone? I've got a couple of people that I know that need them this year. So we've been doing a few. We've got one that we did in our Forget-Me-Not class this past month. That's my card club. So if you're ready to take your cards to the next level, elevate them and make them extra special, that is definitely a club you'd like to join. Okay, I didn't even say what I was doing. So what I did was I'm going to push in these two, right? Kind of makes a house shape, and so I end up with a square like this. See that again? So I folded on each of my score lines, and then I'm just going to take my two diagonals in and meet and fold that flat, and then I'm going to give that a good press. So it kind of reminds me of that, although it's a much simpler version. Remember the little thing you did in school where you did this little pop thing and you said what color and what number, and then there was a secret message? Maybe only girls did that. I don't know. All right, so this is my card base right here. Now, before I go too crazy, I'm going to stamp my sentiment in the upper section, because if I mess this up, I can flip it over and fix it. Well, hide it and restamp. So I like to stamp before I start gluing these layers together. So I'm going to stamp up at the top that you did it. Okay, and we're just going to place that in there, right? Love it. All right, so good. I got lucky there. I'm happy with that. So now I know that I don't have to worry about it. But if I had messed this up, I could have flipped it over and just folded it the other way, right? Okay. So the next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and adhere this to my card, my top and bottom. So I've got 2 pieces of basic black, and these are 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. At least I believe they are. Yes. And I'm going to adhere this to it. So let's just flip the bottom. Whoops, gotta take the lid off our stamp and seal here. Oh yes, Jean, you love Forget Me Not. Yeah, it's such a good, we do so many awesome projects. So it includes 4 projects a month as part of the club itself. But then there are an additional, what, 10 to 12 bonus projects that I post every month just for my club members. All right, so you can see I've got a skinny border. You know, you can make the white a little bit smaller and have a wider border, or you can make the black larger, but I wanted it to fit into a regular envelope. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this one on the top as well. It's going to look like an Oreo, right? We got our top and our bottom, and the center is the white filling. I know that's silly. All right, let's see if we can get this somewhat lined up. Maybe. All right, it doesn't have to be perfect, so that is a great thing. So you just want to know what the top is, right? And what the bottom is as you orient. Let's go ahead and make our inside pocket, and then we'll do the rest of the outside. Like I said, this one is super, super fast and easy. Oh, good, Janet, you do need some graduation cards. Good, good, good. No grads, but the fold would be super for lots of occasions. Yeah, I think you could use this for a lot of fun things. So you wouldn't have to make this a graduation cap. You could leave this as is and decorate the front in another way, right? I'm going to turn it into a graduation cap, but again, you don't have to do that. All right, so now I've got another square of basic black. This one is cut 1/8 of an inch smaller, so it's 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. And I'm going to cut it in half diagonally. So you actually will be able to get 2 cards out of one piece. And I wanted to talk to you about cutting things diagonally. So you will want to line up the points to the channel of your cutting tool. Okay, and you can see right where that cutting blade is going to cut because it's kind of grooved down in. The other way you can tell is in the cutting blade, there's these little dashes, I guess you could say, grooves. That's going to also tell you where the cutting is going to happen. What I want you to know when cutting diagonally is you don't want to cut into the point because it'll crush the point. So what I mean by that is start somewhere inside of the point and go out towards the edge, right? So that when you cut it, it doesn't crush this and you end up with a nice crisp point. Make sense? Hopefully. So I have a second one to use on another card later. I don't actually need any graduation cards this year, but I've got a couple that I'll be able to use. All right, so next, let's heat emboss because I'm on black and I really like the pop of that. Where did my sample go? There it is. I love the pop of that white on that black, right? It's so nice. Now, if you still have an anti-static pouch, like mine's almost empty. So I'm hoping that Stampin' Up! Eventually comes back out with these. I think you can get them at other craft stores and there might be something else that you can use. Jean, I know you know there's something else you can use. Whatever the magic powder is in there, you might be able to use a talc powder or something like that. But, you know, I don't always use the anti-static powder pouch, but I do like to use it on black, even though it does leave a little bit of a haze. But, you know, I think that I just get much better results. So here's my yucky Versamark. Still works fabulous though. All right, let's stamp our sentiment. Hopefully I'm somewhat straight. If not, I actually have extra tries because I have an extra piece and I can flip it over and hide it too. Yes, love that we can get away with that. All right, we're gonna bring in our white embossing powder, which this is part of the basics embossing powder pack. So you'll see on the supply list, the basics embossing powder, and white is one of. So you get clear and black inside there as well, which is fun. Love that. Nice. All right, let's pull in our tweezers just so I don't burn my hands. Okay, and then I'm gonna pull in my heat tool. Now, if you don't already know, I have a really old heat tool. Someday I will replace it, but it still works. It's cracked. I've dropped it. The tip is exposed. It is Stampin' Up. It's just old. So until this bad boy dies, I'm still going to use it. But Our newer one is much safer because the tip is covered and has 2 heats, and it's a nice, pretty gray in color, very sleek. Anyway, I'm going to keep using this until it dies. Here we go. So I'm going to hold it about an inch, inch and a half away from my cardstock. I'm going to slowly move it. You don't need to do this. You can, but you don't need to. What I want to have happen is I want it to heat up or warm up so that it's melting this powder. So it will turn shiny. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to see that. So here we go. There it's starting. I hope you can see that. So the powder is turning solid. Nice. So cool. So you'll know it's done. You can see visually on the white, especially on black. You can't always see it. Depending on what color you're on, it can make it more difficult. But what you're looking for is you want the powder to go away and it to turn shiny. If you heat it too long, it kind of goes dull. And sometimes we had a situation in the last class where we were doing black on black, and it was super difficult to see. And I think we were heating it too long. It was like the powder disappeared altogether. It was really a strange thing. But yeah, if your paper turns brown or flames up, you've gone too long. Yes? All right. So this is going to be our pocket. Now, my gift card, let me see if I can grab the one out of the sample here. It's a tight fit, right? So if I lay this down, you can see you've got a really narrow amount of space, right, that you can do. So I'm going to use, I did use tear and tape on the original sample, but it's a little too tight. So on this one, I'm going to pull out my dreaded liquid glue. I know. And I'm doing a skinny bead right along the edge. I don't want it to be too thick because I don't want it to ooze out, but I want it close to the edge. I'm gonna put a little bit extra there on the top here. That's my whitest part. Oh yeah, Jean, this would be a fun party invite or a wedding card. Makes you think of a tuxedo on the outside and wedding dress on the inside. Oh yeah, that's fun. You have such a good imagination for things like that. All right, so let's go ahead and lay this down, and we're going to go right on the edge of that white and just lay that down, and that is going to create our pocket. Now, if you wanted a little bit more reinforcement on these corners, you could go in a little bit this way. You could add a glue dot. You could add a little tear and tape just to that corner because you've got the space on the sides here. It's just the depth of this going down. Now, I'm not going to put this in here yet because I really want that to dry before I put that gift card down in there. But you can see there's a really skinny, just a really nice finishing touch on the inside with those 2 layers of black. Can you guys see that? I hope so. So the inside's done. So you could call this done. You could decorate it any way you want to, but I want to make it look like a graduation cap. So we're going to make a little tassel. So I have pulled out some twine, some baker's twine here. And I have got a little scrap here. Now, this is a 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. I did that so that I could lay the corner and see where my center is. But I'm also going to use it to wrap my twine around. Now, if I was going to make a really nice, thick tassel, I would use more twine than I'm using. I think I'm using about 36 inches or so. All right. Now, before I end this, I'm going to slide this off, this little guide here. Okay. And I'm going to wrap this around a couple of times. Oh, I think I did it wrong. Hold on. Before I wrap it, let me come down here. Yeah, that's what I forgot to do. Come down here. I made a little loop. It's a little bit shorter. I'm going to wrap this around. And then you can put that down through your loop and pull that tight. Hopefully you guys can see this. And that is going to knot that for me. How nice is that, right? Now, if you get confused on which is your correct loop, you could always snip this first. I just didn't this time. Now, on this particular tassel, I'm going to go ahead and snip it now. And of course you can clip those and make them all the same length if you want to. I'm not going to worry about it. On this particular tassel, I wanted another loop in the top here to be able to attach that to the card, right? So I did find that this was a little bit difficult to put inside these loops after I did this, but no worries. Where's my take your pick? I'm gonna pull in my take your pick to kind of put this back so I can find the center of those loops. And it doesn't have to be around every single one, but that kind of helped me kind of make that space again and get those loops separated up at the top here so I could tie this. Now you could take this layer through if you left this long enough. I did not. I'm going to take a separate piece and I am going to switch my take your pick. Sorry, fumbling a little. I'm going to switch it to the spatula end. So we've got different tools that you can use with your take your pick. So I'm going to use the spatula end for this. And it's going to help me push this. See if I can do this. It's like I need a third arm, right? I'm going to push that through. So much easier, right? And so now I can just loop that on. Now, if you wanted the top of this tied, you could totally tie the top of this. Let's go ahead and do that on this one, just to make it a little different. So I'm going to tie a knot. Okay, and then now I can loop that on as well. Now you're like, what do you do with this little crazy thing hanging down over here? I'm just going to pull it tight and I'm going to clip off the excess that I don't need and leave that on my little tassel there. Cute. Hopefully this makes sense. All right, now I want to go ahead and glue this ends of this to the center. So I'm going to come in here, and I don't think I put glue dots on the list. But you can use Stampin' Seal if you prefer. But I think glue dots would work nice, but I think I missed them on the supply list. So let me just pull in a couple. So I don't like to touch these. I call them boogers. Remind me of when my kids were little and they had the snotty noses, you know, that stuff that you can't get off their face. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to lay down a couple of glue dots using that as a guide. And then I'm going to put the ends, just kind of smush the ends of this right down in there, just to kind of hold that together. Now that's kind of ugly, right? So you want to cover that up. So I thought, you know, a graduation cap has, you know, the little button on the top. So if you have a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch-ish handheld punch, I would totally punch a circle out with the punch. Because we don't currently sell a handheld punch in a circle, I pulled in the warm wrap dies and used this die right here. And what I did was cut this out. So when you use this right here, it is going to cut out both this outside ring and this inside little piece here. Make sense? Hopefully you guys can see that. So that cuts that out. So I am using that for my circle. Now these warm wrap dies are also on the last chance list, but they are on sale. So they're discounted from $35 to $17.50. So awesome. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I didn't check. I should have checked to see if the mini coffee cups were still available. Those are awesome companion pieces. All right. So I'm going to use this little button here and just glue that right on there to cover up my messiness. And I am going to use a liquid glue because I do want it to ooze a little bit. I don't want it to come outside of the circle, but I want it to ooze a little bit and really set this down nicely to cover that twine. So I'm just going to hold that for a moment while we're chatting. I'm going to read your comments for a minute. Yeah. Love it, love it, love it, love it. You guys liking this? It's super simple. So if you had, let's say you had a graduate this year, right, that you needed to make cards for their graduation, like a graduation announcement, this would make a great graduation announcement. And this is one that you could do so many of. So isn't that cool? It just covers up my little mess, and I've got my cute little tassel and my graduation card already. I can pop my little gift card in there. Now, if you were going to use this as an announcement, you could print off something. You could add a photo in here, lots of fun stuff that you could do. Now I did this in black, but you could customize this and do it in any color that you need for your graduate, blah, right? So that's another fun thing. You can customize the tassel to the color. You can do all kinds of fun stuff. But yes, it is a super fast and easy card. And don't you think it's cute? I love it. I think it adds a nice personal touch, changes up a gift card holder, not so boring, right? Fun, you guys love it? So here's my original, I'll bring that back in. I made my tassel a little bit chunkier on that one, but I think for putting it in an envelope, the little streamlined, and I do actually like it. This one I didn't tie the top of that, I just looped it around. But I think I like it tied. It actually gives it a nice finished look. So you guys have to decide how you like it, right? Easy and cute. Thank you. Yes, awesome. Oh, and thank you for sharing. Yes, if you guys are enjoying the projects that I'm sharing with you, please share them with your crafty friends. Leave me some comments. The more interaction that I have on the videos, the more people will find me, which I very much appreciate. And if you're watching on the replay, of course, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really, really, really appreciate you guys taking the time to spend some time with me each week. It's fun. I enjoy it a lot. Okay, if you've got questions, let me know. Yes. All right, cool. I appreciate it. And you guys have a fabulous, fabulous week. And if you are a Forget Me Not Club member, I will see you tonight where we are going to show and go through our, let's see, what's it called? Our Fun-Filled Tulips pop-up. I'll give you guys a peek of that. If you're not a club member, so this is one of our cards that we did for this month. And it is a super cool, could be birthday, could be Mother's Day, pop-up inside. So I'm going to teach this in our Forget Me Not. They already have the tutorial, all that fun stuff, but we get together every Tuesday evening and we go through one of our club projects and I answer questions and we have a little fun together. So what size envelope? So Kathy, you can use a standard envelope for this. This is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So you could make a special envelope for this, or you could put it in a standard envelope and it just have some extra space in it. So either one works. So no special must have as far as an envelope, but I will tell you, if you send a square envelope through the postal service, so I'm not sure where you're located, but if you're in the US, they do charge you more for a square envelope. So if you pop this in a regular envelope, it's not going to charge you extra postage for that. So awesome. Yes, Susan, I'll see you guys later. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you all so much. And I hope to see you Forget Me Not Club members tonight in our Facebook Live. And I hope that you guys will join us for Maker's Mojo if you've not already signed up. So much fun happening this weekend. All right. Thank you so much. And I will see you next Tuesday. Bye for now.